going to start working from front view and work on parallel projection by clicking this drop down arrow and select parallel. And start with circle from this point here. So C for circle command, click anywhere on the screen, enter 8 for radius. Copy this circle from center downward for 89 millimeters as shown here, center to center. Now I'm going to draw a line from quadrant to quadrant, another line from quadrant to quadrant. TR for trim command, enter twice, remove this one and trim that one. To draw this line, I'm just gonna offset it from this point here. So O for offset command, enter and enter 4.7. Click this line, click this side, click this line and click this side. I'm going to draw another circle from the center of this arc to the center of this bigger circle, which is 32.2 millimeters. So C for circle, enter, shift right click and select temporary track point. From center, move your cursor upward for 32.2. Type D for diameter option and enter 44.4. Right click to repeat circle, locate center, type D for diameter option and enter 35.6. Now extend this line by typing EX for extend command, enter twice, click this line and click this line. Now I'm going to create an arc here and I'm going to use fillet inside the modify panel. Select fillet, go down to the command prompt, click radius and the radius is 22.5 and select multiple. Go back to the command prompt, click multiple option, click this one, click this line, click this circle and click this line. Now I'm going to draw another circle from the center here to the center of this biggest circle is 50. So C for circle, right click to enter, shift, right click and select temporary track point. From center, move your cursor downward for 50 millimeters. Type D for diameter option and enter 72. Right click to repeat circle, locate center, type D for diameter option and enter 66. Now extend this line by typing EX for extend command, enter twice, click this line and click this line. Now I'm going to create this arc by using fillet. So inside the modify panel, select fillet, go down to the command prompt, click radius option and enter 43, enter, go back to the command prompt again, select multiple, click this line and click this circle. As shown here, this is the 43. Now I'm gonna do trimming. So TR for trim command, click this circle and click this one so that I could join the segments, the broken segments. So type J for join command, click this arc, this one here. Now this is one object. I'm gonna redraw the circle from center and click that intersection. Another circle from center and click this intersection. Now the next thing to do is draw this portion here and the countersink on top. I'm gonna use calculator. So 13.6 divided by 2 is 6.8. So I'm gonna draw a line from the quadrant upward for 6.8 and then hit the tangent. Before we proceed, go down to the status bar and make sure your dynamic input is on. Polar tracking, object snap tracking, object snap, and selection cycling. Now I'm gonna create this this one here and just this part here. So what I'm gonna do is trim again. So type TR for trim command and click this one. And join the segments. Now this is one object. I'm gonna redraw the circle again. Look at center and just click that intersection. Now I'm gonna draw this countersink, and the distance from the center of the circle to the very top is 24.8. So line. I'm just gonna draw a line as a guide and move your cursor upward for 24.8 and move it sideways for 13. Calculator. So 13.6 divided by 2 is 6.8. So line in point enter 6.8. Just gonna copy that line in point to in point. Go to coordinates panel, select Z-axis vector, click anywhere on the screen and just move your cursor upward to direct that Z-axis vector upward, because we're gonna draw this countersink and it should be parallel to the direction of the Z-axis vector. And draw a circle. Look at center, which is the endpoint. Type D for diameter option and enter 9.7, which is this one here, from this point to this point, which is also this one here. And the next one is, I'm going to annotate that. The diameter is 6. So draw another circle. Look at center. Type D for diameter option and enter 6. And the distance or the gap between these two circles is 1.85 as shown here. So I'm just going to move this one downward. You can click anywhere as for base and enter 1.85. I'm just going to turn off the grid. Now I'm going to go to home and inside the modeling panel, use loft command and just click this circle and this circle. Enter twice. I'm going to change this to conceptual and maybe remove this one. Use press pull command, hover over this face. Once it turns blue, left click, let go of your finger, and just pull this down up to the center of the circle. All right. Now extrude these circles. And the total thickness is 38 and divide it into 2 because I want to center this one, which is 19. So select these two circles. Inside the modeling panel, select Extrude command for 19 units. And then press pull this one, this face here, to the opposite direction for 19 units. Now this is centered. I'm gonna poke a hole through, or maybe use subtract command. Click this object here, right click, and select the object that you don't want. Now bring your drawing to top view and create a rectangle, which is, the dimension is 13.6 by 13.6. So inside the draw panel, click rectangle, or square rather. Click anywhere on the screen and enter 13.6, comma, and 13.6. Bring this square, move, locate center, and bring this square on top of this circle here. Extrude this one downward. So extrude command. Up to this perpendicular point. Now use subtract command from the ribbon. Subtract, keep the objects you want to keep, which is this object, this one. Right click to enter and click the object you want to remove. I'm just gonna alright. Now to create this fillet here, this side, go to home, or solid rather, select fillet edge, go down to the command prompt. Let me check first the fillet. Alright, it's 4. Alright, so fillet edge, radius from the command prompt, and enter 4. Click this edge here and click this edge. Enter twice. Now the next thing to do is extrude this one. And the total extrusion is from the side is 13.6. So 13.6 divided by 2 equals 6.8. So extrude this one for 6.8 to that side. I'm just going to change this to conceptual. It's easier to see. I'm just going to copy this one from endpoint to endpoint. And union command to combine these two. Bring your drawing to front view. I'm just going to mirror this one. So type MI for mirror command. Select the object you want to mirror. Specify first point of mirror line. I'm going to use the center. And just move your cursor sideways and enter no. And combine these two again. Use union command inside a solid editing panel. Object and this object. Now this is one object. Front view. Mirror. So type MI for mirror command. Click the object you want to mirror. Enter and specify first point of mirror line, which is the center. And just move your cursor upward and select no. So I think we're done with this portion. Now the next one is this portion here that connects the two circular objects. And the thickness for that is 18. So what I'm gonna do is extrude this one halfway on both sides for 9 units. So extrude that way for 9. I'm just gonna use press pull command and extrude this face for this side. No, move this one first for 9 units. You can click anywhere as base point for 9 units. Now you can see it's on the face of this surface here. And use press pull command, hover over the face. Once it turns blue, let go of your finger, move your cursor to this direction and enter 9 units. Copy this rod and click anywhere on the screen, move to that direction and enter 18, which is the total thickness. See, you can see here, this one here on the face and this one here. Now I'm gonna create an indentation, as you can see in this model here, and the thickness for that is 6 units from the edge here on both sides. So I'm gonna use press pull command, hover over this area here, left click, push it for 6 units, turn your drawing around, hover over this area here, left click, let go of your finger and push it for 6 units. Now apply fillet, and the radius for that is 6 as shown here. So go to home, or solid rather, select fillet edge, go down to the command prompt, click radius option and enter 6. And go back again to the command prompt and click chain. Click this edge, turn this around and click this edge. Enter twice. And for the bottom part, I'm going to bring this drawing to front view and draw a line from the center. Just hover over, move your cursor to the left or to the right, click anywhere here and click here. And from the center, the distance for the cut here is 4 units. So I'm just going to offset this one for 4 units downward. All right. I'm going to draw a line from the quadrant here, from this cut here, this intersection here. And the distance is 30. So line. This is just a guide. From quadrant upward for 30 units. The same here. So I'm just going to copy from quadrant to quadrant. Now go back to home. And inside the coordinates panel, click this Z-axis vector. And change again the direction of your Z and move it upward. I'm going to create this portion here, which is a cylinder. And it should be parallel to the direction of the Z-axis vector. So I'm going to draw a circle. Wait, I'm going to check the diameter for this one, which is 18 here and 9. So C for circle. Look at center. Type D for diameter option and enter 18. Another circle. Locate center of the circle. Type D for diameter option and enter 9. Now, I'm going to extrude this one downward. These two up to the quadrant. And the next thing to do is cut this portion here. Just bring this to front view, easier that way. So trim, TR for trim command, enter twice. Remove this one, remove this and this one. remove this one, click that, and join the segments. So type J for join command, enter, click this one here, this one, and this one. Now this is one object. Now I'm going to extrude this object, and the thickness for that is 38. So I'm going to extrude it for 19 units, halfway, which is halfway of this thickness. Extrude to that direction for 19 units. And then hover over this portion, use press pull command. I'm going to delete that first. Otherwise, it won't work. Hover over this portion and pull this one for 19 units. Now I'm gonna use press pull command and pull this one downward first, because the cut here is all the way down. And copy this one. Copy selection from center of the circle or the cylinder to the endpoint here of the guide. All right. Okay. Now use subtract command from solid editing panel. Click the object you want to keep, which is this one, and this one. Right click and select the objects you want to subtract, which is the cylinder here and this one here. Now I'm gonna cut this thingy that's sticking in. So what I'm gonna do, go to solid editing panel, click this drop down arrow and select copy edges. I'm gonna copy this edge here, enter, and specify this point of displacement. Just click anywhere and click again on that same spot and click exit. Now we have this arc. I'm going to draw a line to connect that endpoints of the arc. So endpoint, shift right click and select endpoint. Just want to make sure I snap the right one. Wait. This is not in the right place. So go back to the ribbon and inside the solid editing panel, click this drop down arrow and select copy edges. Click this edge, enter. I'm just gonna click that endpoint to endpoint just to make sure there's no gap. Exit and exit again. There you go. We have that arc, and draw a line from endpoint to endpoint of this arc and join. So type J for join command. Join this arc, outline, and this arc. Now this is one object. I'm just gonna extrude this one all the way there. Like, won't matter as long as it's this, over this edge here. And then use subtract command. Click the object you wanna keep. Right click and select this one to subtract. Now we've cut this portion. All right. And the next thing to do is apply chamfer to achieve this one here. I'm going to show you the model. This one here. And go to solid and select, click this drop down arrow and select chamfer edge. Wait, I'm going to check the dimension first. And it's 2.5 by 3. So chamfer edge, go down to the command prompt, click first distance and enter 3. Enter. And for the second distance, specify 2.5. And click this edge here. Right clicks to repeat chamfer edge and just click this edge. Okay, let me check here. if we need more. Just gonna change this to maybe shaded with edges. I think we're done. This is a continuation of my drawing, the piston I did earlier. I'm gonna put the link below. And I think we're done. I'm just gonna change this to realistic. Combine the objects by using union command and select the whole thing. And move this one. Move. And delete that. Wait, I missed to apply the fillet here, which is 2. This one here, which is also this one. So go to home, or solid rather. Click this drop down arrow and select fillet edge. Go down to command prompt and click radius option and enter 2. Click this edge and click this edge. Enter twice